Good evening, and welcome to the Florence County School District 5 Board of Trustees February meeting. If you would please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In accordance with the South Carolina Code of Laws 1976, Section 30-40-80E as amended, the following were notified of this meeting: Morning News, Post and Carrier, WBTW, WMBF, WPDE-TV, and posted on our website at fsd5.org. Ms. Wanda.
I'm going to ask you to bow your heads for prayer, please. Lord, we come to you tonight and we just thank you for your goodness and your mercy and your love that you show to us each and every day. And God, we just pray tonight that you would send wisdom and knowledge to our board tonight as they have to deal with the business of the school. And we thank you for the opportunity that we have to make an impact on the students that live in this community. And we just want to be thankful to you always, God, for just providing us with every necessary thing that we have. And we just ask you right now, God, that you would just be in the midst of everything that's done. In Jesus' name we ask, amen.
Amen. We'll now move to the approval of agenda. And if there is no questions, we'll move right along with it. We're now going to special recognitions.
These are Deanna, if you want to go up there with them. Okay, our first recognition is going to our junior scholars. The South Carolina Junior Scholars Program identifies 8th grade students with exceptional academic talent. To get to be a junior scholar, you have to score 550 or higher on the evidence-based reading and writing portion of the PSAT, or a 530 or higher on the math portion of the PSAT. We are extremely proud that this year we had 3 academic scholars, and parents, this is huge. This is huge. To score this high at their age is just phenomenal. And so we're going to call you up. The first one is Isabella Frierson. We'll call her Bella. Bella, congratulations. Job well done. Great on the basketball court, too.
Stand right there, Bella. Okay, thanks.
Okay, next we have Juliana Owens. Congratulations, Juliana. Awesome job. And our third junior scholar is Jack Powell. Congratulations, Jack. Let's give these students a round of applause. We have one other special recognition tonight. Ms. Quinn Harris, if you would come up. I was fortunate enough to be able to see her give her speech at the Beta Club convention. She ran for vice president of the South Carolina Junior Beta Club. The whole state, thousands and thousands of people sitting out in the audience, and she gave a speech like it was nothing. I'd vote for her if she were running for president right now. But she did an amazing job, and she won. So Johnsonville has a South Carolina Junior Beta Club vice president. Congratulations, Queen.
Congratulations.
Now, we are going to be moving on until a regular board meeting. You are welcome to stay for this board meeting if you would like. If you would rather not, you are free to leave right now and nobody will judge, so that is completely up to you.
I don't know if that is, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have fun. Okay, we'll move right along in our agenda. Do we have anybody for a public forum? Okay. We move right along to our consent agenda. I hope everybody's had a chance to look over our agenda. Any questions, concerns?
I was just curious, it looks like we've spent most of our data processing budget.
We only have one bill with that, and
Uh-huh.
it comes once a year as an annual renewal, and that bill has been paid, and we still have a little bit left in there for supplies, for the accounting program.
And then, of course, the Board of Education, which is, I guess it's
That's-
kind of normal.
It's kind of normal, but that's the same thing with them.
Yeah.
With that as well, it has certain, annual renewals that come due at different times during the school year.
Okay, anybody else? Okay. We'll go right into our regular agenda with the superintendent's report.
Okay. Mr. Goins will not have an academic report tonight. He's out sick. His actually does fall under textbook adoptions, but we'll address that later. Ms. Wanda Willis.
I think you have a couple of slides first.
I do.
Yes.
Yes, I do. February highlights. We celebrated Black History Month. All three of our schools had programs. Joteka Edie visited JHS on Monday, February 5th, and she shared an inspirational message. And the students enjoyed having her there. JMS had a Black History Month walkthrough program last week. With a program at the end that was phenomenal. I was unable to be there, but I saw it on video. Ms. Squires, it was phenomenal. It really was good. And JES also had a guest speaker and various activities and programs. So we're proud of what they did this month to celebrate Black History Month. JES also had a visit by Just a Chicken authors. They were football players that played for Carolina Gamecocks. Go Gamecocks. And they spoke to the students about reading and writing skills, and they shared one of the books that they wrote. They were also able to sign books and take pictures with the students, so they thought they were something there. The JHS Beta Club, and we typically don't have our high school participating in Beta, but they participated this year in the convention in Myrtle Beach for the first time in a very long time. They placed second in two-dimensional design and first in apparel design. So they are also invited to compete in nationals, just like our junior Beta, so it's wonderful. Our JMS Johnsonville Middle School leadership is training a team of students to become peer mediators. These students are learning how to help de-escalate situations with students. And I actually was able to attend one today and kind of sit back, and it's amazing because they voluntarily go to the students to say, okay, we're disagreeing with each other, and other students talk them down. So it was really amazing to watch today. That program's growing. We've got some strong students. It's completely voluntary on their part, and they come up with a plan together. No adults involved. There's an adult in the room, but not involved in the process. JMS has also become members of the 4-H club. We're excited about that. Now, Osbeidi Trujillo Labato's work was selected for inclusion in the 2024 Converse Emerging Young Artists exhibition. Her work will be displayed at the Milliken Art Gallery between March 11th and March 23rd. So we just got that, and we may recognize her next month, but we just got that this week. Not enough time to put it on there. And we were very proud to honor Mr. Willie, our district maintenance district maintenance assistant for 43 years of service and dedication to Florence School District 5 and our athletic department at our basketball game versus Hemingway this month. So busy month, a lot of great things happening. Sports highlights, these 5 were named to the South Carolina High School Sports Report All-State Football Team. I think we did recognize that when we recognized the football team, but that came out this week. Seniors Neil Martin and Malik Shippey signed letters of intent to attend college and continue their athletic careers at the college level. And the baseball team just hosted a 100 inning event last week as a fundraiser, had a lot of community support, great fundraiser for the team. Okay, we did send out calendar surveys to all parents as you requested us to do, and option A was the new calendar that we proposed at the last board meeting. The survey results indicated that 59% of the 400 plus people who voted were in favor of option A. Option B was the calendar that we had this current school year, and 41% of the people who voted were in favor of that calendar. The ones who did vote for option B, their biggest concerns were childcare and sports practices during the weeks that we have off. So to alleviate some of those concerns, we cut down some of those half days that were on the first calendar, and we ensured that we had a bye week in football the same week that we're off. They may still practice, but they don't have a game that week. That's in the October break. And we received this week, the 2024 Index of Tax Payability from the Department of Revenue. And Florence School District 5 is the lowest district in tax payability in the state. So this kind of gives you an idea of where we are and the school districts that fall in line with us. I know.
Mm-hmm.
I can send you the whole list so you can see all 80 school districts, but I just wanted to give you that idea of where we were. Okay, now Ms. Willis.
I just want to give you a brief financial update and just mention one thing about the index of tax payability. That is where they rank how much our district is worth and how much in comparison to income and property values and everything, but it does help us when we have a lower index of tax payability, in that it sometimes gives us a little more funding because the state puts in a little higher proportion of some of the different grants and things that we are eligible for. The state minimum salary schedule changes seems to be the hot topic in the legislature right now. The governor has proposed a new scale that's got quite a few people very involved. Right now, we have 5 categories in the teacher salary schedule. You have bachelors, and then they get a pay raise if they hit a bachelor's plus 18. They get a pay raise at master's, a pay raise for master's plus 30, and then they get a pay raise for doctorate. The scale right now maxes out at 23 years of experience. I put at each individual spot what the current salary schedule is now and what the 2 proposed are, just so that you could get an idea of kind of what they're debating and looking at. The new change in the governor's plan is that they go to just 2 categories. That they go to a bachelor's and then a graduate degree. Now, he also proposed that years of experience be continued through a maximum of 30, which means they would still get a step increase after the 23. Now, needless to say, and you have a copy of these salary schedules at your spot, needless to say, with the governor's proposal, you have some winners and you have some losers. The people with the more advanced degrees, the new salary schedule, even if you compare this year to what their salary would be next year, there are some who would make less. However, there is a hold harmless grandfather clause that he has in part of that. Now, one of the things that we do, in addition to the state minimum salary schedule, that is what we have to pay the teachers. We have no choice, that is the bottom line. We also add in our district, from 0 to 17 years of experience, they get a local supplement amount of $1,450 added to that. From 18 to 24 years, it's $1,850, and then if you have 25 plus years, it's $2,250 that we add to the state minimum salary schedule out of tax dollars from the district. The new scale that the governor is proposing has the same salary in 3-year increments. So 0 through 3 years is the exact same amount. Now, this might be adjusted slightly from year to year. If they give us a cost of living increase, it might go up slightly from year to year so that they would see a small difference. But at this point, he is lumping 3 years together. If you look at the graduate degree for the master's plus 30 and the doctorate, around 18 years of experience is where you start seeing some negative impacts. But there is the grandfather clause, and the proviso stipulates that no teacher or administrator will be paid less than they received for the prior year. And that'll probably stay in effect until those people have grandfathered out and their salary would go forward on the new scale that they have. Well, the House and Ways have adopted a salary schedule that keeps the current module that we have. But there is a slow decrease in the graduate degree categories, which means they're trying to entice more people to come into the field of education. So they're trying to get starting teachers' salaries up because, we all know that there's a teacher shortage and there's got to be some type of incentive to get those to come in. And so the graduate degrees are pretty much in line, but they don't get as much. So for example, if they gave a $2,000 bump for everybody with 0 years coming in, you might only see like a $600 bump in the graduate degrees going up. So it's kind of, and there's a very good breakdown there of what the differences are based on that. This particular one only goes to increases the categories to 28 years. So it would max out at 28, whereas the governor's was maxing out at 30. Are there any questions about what we need to do? One thing with the local supplement is we might have to change ours slightly to align with whichever schedule ends up passing so that, it's more, instead of falling in between 24 and 26, we have a clear line there of how we're going to delineate that.
This is the House.
Well, the governor's proposal, and this is House Ways and Means, we'll still have.
Next month, we'll get the Senate.
We'll get the Senate, and then we'll get the conference committee together, and then we'll get a final.
Yeah.
They were talking about it on 6 o'clock news tonight.
Yeah,
How many hours is in a doctorate program? I have no idea because after a master's I was done. I was not interested.
it's like getting a second master's
Yes.
completely.
Is it 60 hours?
So I would think it's at least around 60. Anybody else can speak to that more than me.
It's a little bit less than the EDS.
So it's
So it's probably
Yeah.
around,
it's like getting an additional master's on top
A
of.
master's is 30, right?
so being a.
Well, then the EDS would be next, which would be an additional 30, and then I think they're both kind of comparable. It depends on the program you get in
Mhm.
and what you're getting it in as to what the college requires. But it's a nice, you earn it.
Yeah,
When
right.
you do a doctorate, you earn it because it is a very intense program. Anybody else have any questions?
So, Ms. Wanda,
Frank has one.
once we hear from the Senate and all this kind of shakes out,
Actually,
you'll have a
Yeah.
better understanding how it affects.
next
our
month
budget.
I will come to you. Hopefully we will have budget projections. I will come to you with the first reading of the budget. If they've not published it, it may be April, but as these things progress, I will keep you informed as to what their final decisions are.
Thank you, Ms. Wanda.
All right, good evening, everybody. I'll start with the facilities update. Schneider Electric is finishing the investment grade audit this week for all 3 schools. So like they presented to you guys last month, that's just a deeper dive into all the utilities in the schools. They're going in, getting model numbers, serial numbers off of HVAC units, water heaters, everything. Really doing a deep dive into that data to see where we can do some of that cost savings. The proposals for the athletic lighting should be ready by mid-March with an anticipated contract in April. I spoke with Madeline this morning. They are still well within the time frame to have us good to go by August for those athletic lightings. The marketing kickoff meeting is this week. It's actually tomorrow morning between Schneider Electric and the Ms. Prosser and some of the students. So they will be involved in the marketing. And what our goal with this is to kind of get the information out to the public that, hey, this is what we're doing with that bond referendum that you guys passed. There'll be signage around the district. There'll be stuff online. I think it's going to be a really good thing, and being able to involve the students in that as well to design some of that. And students interested in engineering will actually work with their engineering and a shadowing program on March 7th as well. So that's kind of a lot of cool little value-added things we got in going with Snyder as our consultant for that. Technology update, replacement student laptops have already begun arriving at our resellers warehouse. They are asset tagging and unboxing those now. Devices will tentatively be delivered in April, May, depending on when they all get in. At that time, by the middle of May, we'll start taking up current devices, and Paul and I will start getting the new devices ready to go out for next year. Replacement interactive panels will also be ordered with remaining ESSER 3 technology funds to replace the aging panels at JES. It's hard to believe that when I got here, shortly after I got here, we replaced all the old projectors, and now it's time to replace those panels again. But I'm excited to see the new ones that we're putting in there, a little bit larger than the ones we have now currently, a lot brighter. So I think the teachers and the students, that'll definitely benefit. Food service, I mentioned to you guys last month that we did some replacement tables at the middle school. Here's some pictures of that. It came out really nice. If you'll notice from those pictures, we've got some bench styles, we've got some regular booth styles, and Ms. Squires, I mean, how have your students liked that?
They love them. They have really enjoyed them. And it hasn't, I mean, the behavior's still been fine with it.
Good. Yeah, it really dressed it up in there a little bit, and so I'm very pleased with the way that came out. Any questions of me? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Adams.
And we'll just end with the upcoming events, so you know what's going on. I won't read all those to you, but all of them are on the website.
Here we go.
There you go.
Thank you, Ms. Prosser. Thank y'all too for all the hard work that y'all do all the time for us. We'll go straight into our 4-action agenda, the second reading of the 24-25 proposed school calendar. If we don't have any questions, I'll entertain a motion to.
I make a motion to accept the second reading of the 24-25 proposed school calendar.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposers have the same right. Second reading of the following policies, the revision of JICDA-R Code of Conduct.
I make a motion that we accept the second reading of the policy JICDA-R, Code of Conduct.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Second reading of IKADD-R Content and Credit Recovery. We'll entertain a motion to accept that second reading.
I make a motion that we accept the second reading of policy IKADD, credit and content recovery.
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye? And so we'll move to the recommended textbook adoptions for 24-25.
Well, we have decided from Teachers Committee and Administrators Committee to go with the same company for K through 12, which will be wonderful. We're going with Halt Mifflin, also known as HMH. This is a state-approved textbook for English language arts.
I make a motion that we approve the spring 2024 district textbook adoption.
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay. And we'll move right to overnight field trips.
And you have two, one from the high school and one from the middle school. Both are for the Beta Club Nationals in Savannah, Georgia this year.
We need to do these individually, or can we do them jointly?
We can do,
Which way? I think we can do
I
it
think we
jointly.
can do them jointly.
I'll make a motion, we approve the 2 overnight field trips for the Beta Club.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to move into executive session for the purpose of resignations and administrative contract recommendations.
I make a motion, we move into executive session.
Second.
All in favor, aye? Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
I'll make a motion, we exit executive session.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Coming out of executive session, we have two, items to take action on. The first is resignations.
I make a motion, we regretfully accept the resignation. I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the next is administrative contract recommendations.
I make a motion that we accept the administrative contract recommendations.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn. I second.
All in favor?
Aye.